evening, everyone. It's evening here again, and we are ready for episode, I can't remember the name, episode something.
7.
7? Oh, okay, 7. And it should be part 2. We're going to take care of these spinning wheels. Yes.
Yeah.
This is Mike.
And Zoe.
And Zoe. Yes, you need to pronounce the Z.
Zoe.
Okay, sounds good. And let's get stuck into it. All right, so go ahead and go to Visual Studio.
Okay.
I think that's what we were working on.
Okay.
You
spawned right away. Oh yeah, we already had it.
you want to go to the die wheel, I think?
Die wheel.
Yes. All right, so let's see what the situation is. So we got calculate values. That's where we randomize which value we would land on. And then we start the rotation. And then we have the calculate rotations function that gives us whatever number we got times 60 for the degrees. And then we add another 360 based on a random range that is defined in the game manager for how many dice revolutions we want, and observe that we are casting everything to floats just to ensure that the multiplications get done correctly. I know theoretically they should because the cast is implicit, and you'll see that, by the way, if you hover over here, it'll tell you this cast is redundant, you don't need to do it. But I don't trust it. Because I've had at least one problem once when I was dividing. And so it may be specific to divisions. I don't know.
This gas is redundant too.
Yeah, of course, because it's darkened. Okay. Anyway, let's move on.
This cast is not redundant. But that's not a cast.
It's not a cast, you banana. All right, so let's go to the roll function, and in there you immediately want to call calculate values and then calculate rotations. The roll function,
which is up here.
Yes. So calculate values. Calculate values. That's a new way in which we do it.
I think I did Control C. Not catch it.
Cash.
Catch it.
Open and close round bracket.
Did I say it badly?
Yeah, it's fine.
Catch it.
Cash. That's what it's called. Calculate rotations.
Q. Wait, and now let's see if it appeared. Rotation.
Open and close. Okay, so all of the calculations have been done. So all we need to set up now is our
Axis spinny.
Yeah, the coroutine. So let's create an object variable for the coroutine. So go up there. Yeah, hit enter twice. Make a private coroutine. Coroutine.
See if I remember to spell it correctly.
Okay, and call it COR with capitals, core underscore, and go animate, whatever. Anime. Semicolon.
No.
That's almost a semicolon. Okay, save. And what you want to do now is after calculate rotations, right there, hit enter, go if, open a round bracket, core animate is not null.
Apparently I had an enter copied.
No, wait a moment. Stop pressing Control C.
I pressed Control V because I thought I had copied core animate.
Ah, I see. Lazy. Is not null. Yeah, I said is not.
Oh, yeah. Is not null.
I don't know that works. Here.
Right. Put it here.
Close the bracket. Open as quickly, enter, close it. Save. So, if the coroutine is not null, what does it mean?
That we need to start it.
Wrong.
Well, we need to spawn it.
Wrong.
Then how?
If the coroutine is currently running and we request it to run,
stop it.
We stop it first. Right, so stop coroutine and then paste.
The coroutine and then you paste.
Close the round, semicolon. And now that you've stopped it and you know it's safely stopped and you don't have two instances of the same coroutine, no else's.
But now, then don't we need to put the start coroutine?
Yes, here. Oh. After you stopped it, if necessary. Start coroutine, that's all wrong. Oh. I mean, it's correct, but it's not what I want. Paste the variable first. Equals start coroutine. Open around, and now you need to tell it which one.
Animate.
It's already there. Open, close round, semicolon.
Except not that.
Save. Okay, so now we got animate roll, which isn't doing anything, and that's a problem. So
Mama.
what we need to do, I think I made a mistake.
You think you made a mistake?
Yes, I remember. Yeah, we made a few mistakes actually. Because die wheel is now put on each wheel, and this will be a problem because this particular one deals with the rotation. Wait, does it deal with the rotation of only one wheel or two? Yeah, you see, it's got a list of roll values.
Ew.
And that's a problem. I've noticed this last time, and that was silly. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly fix this by changing the roll value and the roll rotations. So remove that. Yeah, remove that. Remove this. Remove this. And now it's going to cry everywhere, so we don't need this. Delete it. 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 So it's not an add, it's now a variable. We need to rename this from list. So hit Control R twice and call this one roll value. It's faster if you type it.
Oh, and
yeah, roll value. Enter. Control R twice. Roll rotation. Yeah. There's another thing that I think we need to do, which is we need to record how many rotation we do, practically speaking, right? And the reason why that will be necessary is because when we animate, we don't want the wheels to spin at the same speed, irrespective of how many revolutions they need to do. Yeah. Suppose, for example, that the left wheel needs to do 5 revolutions and the right wheel needs to do 8. I want the right wheel to stop later compared to the left wheel.
It needs to go.
That's right. I don't want those spins to actually be done faster because of how many revolutions need to be done. So we're going to change a few things here, and we are going to add another int, call it private int, and call this one roll revolutions. Revolutions. Semicolon. Save. Okay, now here when we calculate rotations, go, oops, my bad, sorry. Go roll revolutions equals, and now copy all of this. Actually, not copy, cut it. Cut this. Paste it here. Semicolon. Semicolon. Okay, save. Now we don't even need this addition of 360. We'll do this inside our coroutine. Okay. I think. I need to think this through a little bit, but yeah, I think we'll do it that way. Now, here we need to change this add because it's now an error, because this is simply an int. So roll value is right here. Just remove this add, type equals, space equals space, and remove one bracket. Save. Okay, so now the roll value is just simple int, and that's fine, right? Because this script is going to be on each wheel, so they're going to be independent. And I noticed something stupid. Here we're doing it until dice number. That's not what we want. Cut this. We don't want a loop. Paste it here. Look at how much slimmer we've made our functions. Save.
Calculate values is one thing in it now.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point, the whole calculate rotations is kind of pointless as well, because we know it's a 60 degree, right? So it doesn't really matter too much to us.
Matter.
Doesn't matter. Don't matter. All right, yeah, so all of this can go. Ooh, epic. Save.
We got one line and everything.
Which means the entire roll rotation is pointless. Bye. Save. Everything gone. Brilliant. Okay,
That's
so
brilliant. The less code, the less code, and if it still works, it's good. So
yeah, well, we'll make it work. Okay, so right here, here's what we're gonna do. When we start rolling, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open a for loop. and it needs to go all the way up until roll revolutions is reached.
Okay.
So I lower than roll revolutions. Yeah. Okay. Wait a moment. I'm pondering this. I'm thinking.
Yeah, like the yield return.
I'm thinking
No.
because we want one curve to decide how fast we start, one curve to decide how we stop on the last revolution. That's easy because it will depend on the angle.
Mm-hmm.
And one. I'm trying to think about how to make this elegant, because it's not obvious. Wait a second. So we could do it via a loop, or we could do it with the entire thing, and then instead decide a certain amount of time that is necessary. I think that's way better. Okay, undo quite a bunch of stuff, because your daddy is a bit stupid. Keep on undoing, keep on going. Keep on going, just carry on. Yeah, undo. Stop. Redo. Y, Control Y. Save. Okay, so I've undone all of this, and the reason being, I don't think I'll explain to you every single detail. The point is, we could either decide to do it this way, to do one rotation, then another rotation, then another rotation, then another rotation. Or put all of the rotations together in one massive rotation and then deal that one rotation at a certain speed.
Lot better.
I don't know. It would be easier though. So we are going to go with a massive rotation. Okay. Right? Because one has certain advantages and the other one has certain other advantages. For example, the one with the single rotations all the time is very easy to code, but I am sure it's going to be much more difficult to make it look elegant. Whereas if we have the big rotation, it's going to be easy to make it look elegant, but it becomes somewhat tricky from a mathematical perspective to decide how fast that wheel needs to spin. Because it depends on how many rotations we have. But our roll revolutions is going to help us in that. So at any rate, here we're going to remove this dice number. So hit delete here, and hit delete on this.
Okay.
And here hit space equals space, and roll value, you can remove this I and delete this bracket. Okay, save. So now the roll rotation is this, okay, and now we need to add what we had before, which was plus the whole rotation, which is 360, times a float cast, close the float cast, and the float cast needs to have the roll revolutions. Copy this, paste it here, save.
That's the redundant float cast.
Now we're going to do another private here. Go private.
Okay, we're getting a few more variables now.
Float. Roll duration.
Roll
duration.
The duration of how somebody rolls. There.
Semicolon. Save. Okay, and now what we need to decide is how much duration will we give for each 60-degree turn, I think, which means there's 6 here, you see? So let's take a look at what we have here. So we have revolutions, dice speeds, okay, that's good. I like to have this. This is the total speed, but we're going to change it a little bit, I think, but we are going to use this variable. I like this variable. So rename this one, hit Control R twice, and call it dice 60-degree speeds. Okay, save.
Well, that's a long variable.
That's a weird variable.
We've never had a variable with numbers in it.
Well, there's a first time for
everything.
everything.
There's first time for everything.
Okay. Right. So also create yet another one and go and call this one private float
Now we got 2 ins and 3 floats.
And call this one rand duration.
Rand?
Stands for random.
Yeah. Duration.
Do you want to lose some more people on the internet? It stands for random, or Ayn Rand. No! Now everybody hates us.
Why?
Don't worry about it. You'll read her books when you're old enough. Ayn Rand is a lady. She wrote many books. Mommy's a big fan. Remember?
I know.
Okay.
That's why I know she's a lady, because Mommy told me.
Oh, sounds good. Okay, so roll rotations. Right, rand rotation. Copy this.
Ayn Rand's
Paste it here.
rotation something. I mean, jury.
Paste it. Okay.
Ayn Rand's lifespan.
Copy all of this. Paste it here. So here you want to type that variable we just put. So put a 60, it should appear. Nope, wrong.
Wrong.
Degree, speeds.
Not the dice.
Degree, speeds. Okay, save. So here we store how fast we want each 60-degree rotation to go. Now we should know how many we have, and it's not that difficult. You've got roll value in and of itself plus roll revolutions times 6.
Okay.
Right?
Hey, roll revolution times 6, but it doesn't say it.
Well, 360 times is 60 times 6, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So the question is, how many total 60-degree turns do we need to take? Right? And there is the number of the roll value. Let's say you rolled a 4, right? That means you get 3 times 60. 3 times 60,
well,
right?
0, 1, 2, 3.
That's right. That's why you get 3 times 60, right? 3 times 60, and then roll revolution. Let's say we said 6, right? So that's 6 times 360. 360 is 6 times 6. So you get 6 times 6 times 60, right? We're trying to figure out how many of these times there are.
Which is 36, I think, times 60.
Well, but I'm very lazy. We're gonna calculate it backwards. You'll see.
How?
So copy roll duration.
Oh, like probably doing it. Oh.
So there you break everything. Copy, paste it here, and go equals. And here we're going to say the following. We're going to say copy roll rotation, paste it here, divided by
Oh, so we're switching it.
60 degrees, 60 F.
64.
60F, okay. So now that we've divided roll rotations, now we're going to, no, we're not done. We're going to multiply all of this, right, by how fast each of these elements needs to rotate, which is what we said there. So rand duration, times rand duration. Now, I've just realized that we don't really need rand duration at this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete this variable.
You killed Ayn Rand.
For rand. Bye. Cut all of this. And paste it right here. So I'm just putting it there. Save.
Bye-bye.
Okay, now this number is vital for us to know how fast we must rotate. Okay?
Okay.
Now, you're not going to understand part of this mathematics because it's a little bit too deep in terms of how many decimals we go in. But on a logical level, it's not that complicated. Remember what I've always told you. Divisions and multiplications are the opposite of one another.
Yep.
Right? So a division is nothing but a multiplication by a decimal. That's really it. Now we're going to deal with very, very small decimals here. Okay, so let's go to this coroutine finally, and let's get cracking on it. So what we're going to do is we are going to do the following. We are going to need a way to communicate back to the game manager that we have found the result. We'll do this only after the rotation's finished, so we're not going to worry about it right now. Okay. But here's what we're going to do. You are going to create a variable called passing time in here. So go float passing time equals 0f.
Here comes passing time again.
It's my favorite variable. Passing time equals 0 float.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now here you're going to create a while loop. So go while.
Use your while loops.
Open around. Passing time is lower than 1 float. 0 and 1. Does this remind you of something?
1 float's the whole thing, right?
It's a lerp.
One spin.
We're gonna lerp.
Oh, yeah.
Close the round bracket.
0 to 1.
Open a squigglo. Enter. Close the squigglo. Save. Wait a second. I think we've done something else
Are
here.
we going to do a Bezier?
Oh, we have a bunch. No, you can't. Bezier is for movement. We're just going to rotate on ourselves on one axis. So we got an animation curve. Well, that said, we could have a Bezier to control how fast we're going, but we're not going to do that. Even though, yes, we're going to do that, but we're going to do it with a spline, which is an animation curve.
Oh.
Well, an animation curve is a spline. Anyway, just listen.
Randomness.
So here we have a bunch of animation curves. We use these just to randomize even further to make it cooler. So we need to actually pick one. This means we're going to do it right here. So create a private animation curve.
Oh, not caps lock, animation curve.
Animation curve.
And animation
Curve.
curve.
And call it curve rot or something.
Curve.
Or roll. Curve roll. There, I like that. Curve roll.
We have so many rolls
Semicolon.
now.
Okay, copy this. Paste it here. And go equals. Game manager dot script dot curve something something. I don't remember. Curve.
Curve
Dice. Try this. Open a square bracket.
And
The other square. Okay, and it goes between 0 and game manager dot script dot curve dice.
so much game manager to script.
Just
Hey, but we're already in curve dice.
Just trust me. Game manager dot script dot curve dice.
Game manager dot script dot
Curve dice.
curve dice
Dot
dot
length.
length.
Close the square bracket. Semicolon. So what does this do? Oh, wait a second. It's not happy. Why are you not happy?
Wrong
number of
indices.
indices.
I expected 1.
Expected 1. Oh, right. I
What?
forget something important. Random dot range. Stupid daddy. Random dot range.
No, comma range. Dot range.
One down.
Random range.
Open around. Remove that
Open
space.
around.
Round, I said. Remove that
I
space.
know.
Delete.
I can't find it.
Add a round bracket here. Save. Okay,
A
so
long
whatever
break.
am I doing here? We are assigning the to this curve a curve that we're gonna go take from the game manager script inside the curve dice array. Let's say it has 6 curves. We're gonna
Okay.
pick a random one between them. How do we do that? By inserting as its index a random range between 0 and the length of the array of these curves itself.
How does it know what curves?
What do you mean?
Like you said, between. Does it automatically know that 0 means the first curve?
Yes, like every array flower.
So we'll actually pick the first curve?
Yes.
I thought we had to assign the curve
We
to be
will
the first
have
curve.
we will
curve.
have to assign the various curves, yes. Unless you
But
mean
then
something
why
else.
did
I
you
have
make
the
it private?
but it's not private.
But you wrote private.
It's public.
Oh, the other one's public.
Well, sure, this
Yeah.
this curve here is private because it's only used by this script. Anyway, so while passing time is lower than 1, we're gonna increase passing time by time.delta time.
Passing time is equals time dot delta time.
Now that's
Oh
not
yeah, I
suffi-
made a silly
that's
mistake.
not sufficient. And we're going to
Proceeds.
divide this
And where's it divided?
by roll duration.
Not roll. Roll.
And semicolon. Save them for a moment. So I don't like the name of this variable, not because of the number, but because of the word speed. Speed indicates that we've already dealt with this, but we want these to be units of time. So hit double Control R twice
Okay.
and rename this to durations.
Usual durations. The life of the guy.
Yeah, enter. So 60 degrees will be done in how long? That's the question, right? And in order for us to figure out how long, or rather turn this passing time into something that goes between 0 and 1, instead of multiplying by a speed, we need to divide by the time.
Okay.
Do you remember the function for speed? It's v equals,
Something that has to do with T, I think. S divided by time.
Right.
Yeah.
And S stands for?
S should be space.
Space. That's right. Space divided by time. So what we need to do in order to find the time
Is passing times are V.
well, rather, in order... Wait, no, I'm confused.
I'm confused as well.
We're taking the time that passes and we're dividing it by the total amount of time that needs to pass. That way we get a percentage. Remember? To get a percentage, you always get... you always do partial divided by total. Right? The partial here is whatever whatever delta time currently is. Right? And then we divide it by that. So let's say that your entire duration is 5 seconds. Well, the time divided by 5 seconds, meaning we're going to go 5 times slower.
Okay.
Okay. Normally, it's as if we had a speed of 0.2. Right? Anyway, that's why we divide instead of multiplying. Now, one thing that we need to put here at the end for sure is we need to do a yield return new wait for seconds.
Wait a minute.
Somebody's lazy.
I
Not
am.
there. Further down. I left 2 spaces deliberately. Yeah, there. Replace the null with new wait for seconds. Wait for seconds. And you won't wait 2 seconds because it needs to be time scaled. Open a round bracket, time.delta time. So you want to wait a frame every frame. How magical. Save. Yeah, sure. Put 7. Okay, save. All right, now here, what we are going to do, we're finally going to do this loop. Okay?
Finally.
Loop, what am I saying? This lerp. So what you're going to do now is you're going to say
Lerp.
the following. You're going to say transform dot local rotation equals equals, wait, I'm thinking, equals, I've realized we have a problem.
Oh, where?
I'll tell you in a moment. Let's continue for now. Transform local rotation equals quaternion dot Euler.
Quaternion dot Euler.
Now wait, before you do anything, we need to
Hey,
go and
why
check.
didn't we go with the lerp?
Huh?
Why didn't we
One
do
moment,
the
it's
lerp?
coming.
Okay.
Okay, so we're taking the little thingy over here. Let's check that we got the right thing actually. Dice. We need to spin the wheel right there. Okay, now which axis? X.
X, yes.
Okay, so our vector is only going to be spinning on the X.
Yes.
So we're going to use a vector shortcut and then multiply it. Which shortcut are we going to use if we need to rotate this thing on the X?
What area is forward? Forward should be on the Z axis.
Forward is on the Z.
Which means
So just think X. Right?
left and right.
That's right. So let's go with vector 3 right for now. In case you people in the audience don't know, vector 3 dot right is a shortcut that constructs a vector 3 that has 1 as a value for the float, 1 float as a value for x, 0 as a value for y, and 0 as a value for z, which is precisely what we want. Okay, now you need to multiply this by what? You need to multiply this by your roll rotation. Copy this.
Okay.
Paste it over here. I forgot something. We now need, this is the target vector. So we need to create a lerp. So go vector.lerp here. 3.lerp.
Finally.
Open around. And here you're going to say vector 3 0, but this is wrong.
Yeah.
Dot 0. We'll fix it in a moment. Comma. Yeah, no spaces, thanks. Now another comma over here. And now we need to give it how much it needs to rotate. So we need to respect our curve. So let's call curve roll. Let's request curve roll dot evaluate. And we're going to evaluate passing time. Close the round. Close the second round. Semicolon.
Now the vector
I think you need to close yet another round. Save. Okay. Now, once we're done with all of this, put a comment over here where you go send info to
I'll do caps locks.
just send to game manager.
Send to game manager.
Okay.
And just run. Except I didn't know.
No, don't be fun. Let's move it.
Okay.
Okay. Remove that caps lock. Give it a save. It may be fun for you. People are watching are bored.
Yeah.
All right. So what are we doing here? Why is this vector 3, 0 an issue?
Because
It's a difficult question. This.
It's supposed to move on the X.
So
But wait.
remember, it's a lerp, right? So a lerp needs to have a starting point and an end point.
What if the starting point's not in the 0?
That's right. And when would be the situation when the starting point is not in the 0?
Well, where's the end point?
Where is the end point?
Yeah, where are the points in the wheel?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Where is the start point supposed to go?
Well, 0, rotation of 0, we've set it up before, that the rotation of 0 is on the number 1.
Yeah.
Right? So that's fine. Well, let me give you an example. Suppose you roll once and you get a 3.
I roll once and I get a 3.
Right.
Okay.
Do you start at a 3 when you roll next time? Yes, you do.
Yes.
So
That becomes the start point.
So you're not at 0, but we are forcing a start point at 0. So what will happen to our little wheel every time we start it?
A little wheel every time we start it. Well, there's no 0 on the dice, which will.
That's not the point.
So probably starts 1 every time. We'll
That's
snap
right.
To 1
It snaps to 1 and then it starts the rotation. That's what will happen. So we've got a bit of an issue. I do think we should fix that, and it's not that difficult to fix, but we would need another variable to keep track of where we were last.
Okay.
Or what rotation we're at right now. Actually, well, that's not that difficult, but it's very risky to pick up that angle from a quaternion. Very risky indeed. Because if you pick up that thing from a quaternion, you could get different angles because quaternions are magical. Right?
Who invented quaternions then?
Irish fella. Robinson, I think. I don't know. I can't remember.
He probably knows then.
Well, he's dead though.
Oh, well, he
What a
probably did know then.
Who knows? If he was a Catholic, he went either to hell or heaven. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, so we've got this done and it kind of works. So what we're going to do now is we're going to test that they're all functions. Okay?
Hey.
So first of all, let's go and see if we have our die wheel scripts stored anywhere. And I don't see that we do. I don't see them. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to create that, and we're going to create them up here where the tiles and all of this stuff is. Okay?
Okay.
So this is going to be... Let's make them... I don't know that we should make them public. I don't think so. So leave them private. So just go private. Private. And you go with the variable type is die wheel. Needs to be an array. And call this one die wheels. Semicolon. Wheela. Save. Okay, copy this. Let's go to start. And this is where we deal with all of our tiles, right? Now we're gonna deal with our with these. And this is actually not that difficult because we don't particularly care about the order. So we're not actually gonna worry about the order at all. Right here, we're going to paste this. Yeah, paste it. Equals. And here what you want to say is the following. We need to go through a couple of hoops. So go board dot find. And now find, okay, wait a second. Now we need to go check our structure. So we need to find dice, we need to find a number, and then we need to find wheel right here. Now I'm a little lazy. Am I? No, let's be proper about this. Let's be proper about this.
Okay.
I changed my mind on this. So new die wheel, whatever, die wheel. Yeah, there it is, die wheel. Open a square bracket. And now you need to feed it a variable that we've got up here. Dice number, copy this. Paste it here, close the square bracket, semicolon. Open a for loop that goes all the way up to dice number.
Remember that when we had int j?
Yes. Trying to give you a hint that we need to move.
Sorry.
That's okay. Dice number I++.
I'm trying to type fast, but I make a mess if I type fast.
That's fine. Type accurately. Save. Okay, so now that we have the thing defined and the loop, we're going to populate it. So you're going to say die wheels I equals board dot find.
Now we're doing it.
Open a round bracket, open a quote, and now you're gonna quote, and now you say dice with a capital D, slash,
slash,
close the quote, space plus space, I dot toString, open close round, space plus space, open quote, slash again.
Is this the right slash?
Yes. I think we called it wheel. Let me check. Dice 0 wheel. Yes, wheel. Go to wheel. Ah, wait a moment. Wait a second. Ah, we don't have the components here yet. Okay, we need to take a look here. So die wheel, roll, calculate values, etc. So it looks like it turns the transform itself. So this script needs to be on this wheel right here. So hold control, release, die wheel. So observe how these are very, very similar, but we can't get confused. They're different things.
Die wheel script, die wheel mesh filter.
That's right. They're very, very different. Let's check here. The model doesn't have anything. Number 1 doesn't have anything. Number 0 doesn't have anything. And dice doesn't. There it is. Evil. So let's remove it from the dice. Okay. Now I feel confident we're doing it correctly. All right. So let's go back to our game manager right here. So slash, you want to call this one wheel with a capital W.
Okay. Slash wheel.
Close the quote. Close the round bracket.
It's not a quote.
Dot get component. 2 down, hit tab, open. Yeah. Die wheel, I think it's called. Yeah. Close the open close round. Okay, all correct. All right, so we got our die wheels and they're ready to be used, which is lovely. So what we're gonna do for now is we're simply gonna test them. All right, so let's add another one of these debugs. All right, so copy this. Wait, I missed a letter. Copy now. Paste. And change this to I left control or something. So start typing control or CTRL.
Control.
No, it doesn't like it that way. Start typing control. Left control. There we go. And what we're gonna do instead of all of this shenanigans, we are simply going to say this loop over here. So copy this loop. Copy it. Paste it here, and instead of die wheels I, you say dice I dot roll. There, open close, semicolon.
Except there's 2 semicolons.
Save. So one thing we want to change now is for sure this time is way too long. So to rotate by 60 degrees, let's say we want 0.05 and 0.1, and we're going to change this inside inside our Unity. So save here. There's a few things we still need to do. So Unity, let's quickly apply this to the board so the prefab remembers. Okay, now it's all blue. Nice. Okay, now let's go to the game manager and die 60 degree duration. See, it's too long, so we're going to do 0.05 and 0.1. Okay, dice revolutions is 8 and 10. That's fine. Curve dice. Okay, let's create one curve. Now this one needs to be a bit special. I have a bunch of presets here. I'm gonna take one that makes some level of sense for us. And I'm gonna start with this one. This one seems decent.
What does
for
that
us.
one do?
It goes super fast, it goes up, right? And then it reaches the maximum speed, and then it starts
Slow.
decelerating. Actually, but that's not what we want.
So fast?
I'm wrong. What we want is this curve.
So
it
this is
accelerates
getting
slowly,
fast,
it goes at the maximum speed, and then it decelerates.
Mm-hmm.
But I would also like to have a bump at the end. So how about this one?
So
it accelerates
fast, then
And then it has a bump at the end.
slows.
Yeah, and it even goes backwards for a bit.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is a bit too excessive, in my opinion. So I'm going to move it right here. Now hold control for me. Oh, release it. Now hold it. Ah! Release it. Now hold it. I can't. Release it. Now hold it. Finally. All right, here we go. Okay. Good. You can release it now. So just a little rebound there. Let's see how this works. So for now, we're only going to have one curve. Let's see how that works. Okay, so let's hit play.
And the left control.
Now hit control. Hey, that's cool.
Wow.
Whoa!
Dying blind.
Did you see that massive...
And then nobody moves.
Yeah, okay, clearly that flip is a bad idea. No, wait before you start moving. Hit control. Again, I want to see these rotations. So, am I crazy or are they rotating in opposite? No, they're both rotating down. Yeah, I don't like that bounce at the end. It's horrible.
Yeah.
So, let's simply select a simple S curve and let's see how this goes. Okay, hit control. Okay, in my opinion, they rotate too long. But they are rotating pretty cool. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we can play around with these curves a little bit and add a few more. So we're going to add a few more now, but first what I want to do is I want to change the amount of revolutions. I think it's far too many. So we're going to do, say, 4 and 5. I like more variations. Let's do 3 and 5. Okay, and now for the curve here, let's add something like, I don't know, 5. Okay, and now we're just gonna pick all of the other ones. So this one that accelerates and then ends fast, this one that decelerates fast. I mean, some of these may look dumb. I think this one will look a bit stupid.
What about that weird one?
Well, yeah, no, that's great. It's gonna go back and forth, forth and back, etc. You want a normal curve-ish, right? But you can play around with its values. So linear, for example, I don't think would look good. Actually, to be honest, I think that this one here would also look bad. We need something that smoothens in the end for sure. So we can add a point over here. Okay, put it like there.
It's a very big bump now.
And it's gonna smooth a lot. Okay, it's gonna smooth a huge amount. So you can move it right here, so it goes like super fast, and then it smooths. Yeah. Yes, including that weird sound that you just made with your mouth.
Sufu. That's what it sounded like. Sufu.
Okay, how about this one?
It's going very slow here.
Yeah, it starts incredibly slowly, then it goes like a rocket. Yeah, okay, let's stop at 4. That's enough. All right, so let's now hit control.
Groove making is funny. Dong, one of them stopped like clonk.
I know.
Now this one stopped like clunk.
They're not bad. So what I think we can still play around a little bit is we can increase the durations for each rotation a little bit, right? So let's try 0.15 and 0.3. Oof, this sounds massive. Let's do 2.5. I'm afraid, right? I don't want to wait a day for the dice to roll. There you go. I like this. Look at the other one. Slowly accelerating, and then slowing down. Yeah, I don't like this crazy curve that we did. So I'm just going to go back to 3. Whoa.
6.
9.
9.
Back to 3. Okay, so yeah, this one's fine. Okay, like, bear in mind we're putting quite a lot of cool randomness. Oh, we got exactly the same curve, but a different amount of turns. So that's good. 3 and 4. Yeah, now I feel they're too slow.
Aha.
Yeah. Let's go back to 0.1 and 0.15. See that? See how that works?
They're going really fast again. I think those little spokes look fun.
Good. Well, I think that our wheels are looking pretty cool, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
They're working okay,
6.
right? And we can clearly tell which number we get. That's nice. Ooh, you got
4.
a double. I think we should give you a bonus when you get two of the same.
Mm-hmm. There's
Okay, that's cool. I like it. It's good.
It's cute.
All right, so it's
What
working,
else?
as you can see. But oh, wait a second. Wait a second. I'm almost sure we're badly wrong now. I'm actually surprised this is working. It's not supposed to be working correctly. So we got 2 1s. Why did I get 2 1s? Anything other than 2 1s would have been fine. Okay, 5 and a 1. That 5 will reset to a 1 now. I don't know. It goes so fast I can't tell. Because if it doesn't reset to a 1, it's bad. If it does reset to a 1, it's just a bug that's ugly. I can't tell. They accelerate too quickly.
Let's slow them
Ah,
down.
yes, I saw it. It reset to 1. Good. Whew. Whew. I'd like to have a bug that I can see. All right, there it is. Yes, so this is a problem, and we need to fix it.
Yeah.
But we're going to do it
What?
next time because I'd rather do something useful now. We need to send this information back to the manager. This is important. Wait, another thing we want to do. One thing that I like to do, dear audience, is store as many of my variables in default values as well. Because sometimes it happens to me that Unity decides, hey, you know what? I'll forget all of your settings. It's happened to me enough times that, and it was painful enough to fix, that I now keep reference to almost everything within my code, right? So here we have 0.1, 0.15 for the 60-degree durations,
I should
and
have put
3 and
I
5
should
for
have
the
put
revolutions.
degree capital.
Oh, whatever. If you want to do it, it's fine. So, right. So we said 0.1 and 0.15. And this one we said 3 and 5, which I think is fine. Okay, now double hit Control R twice here.
For the degrees. Wait, sure.
Yeah, and put that capital D that you so wish. Wait, it's not gone. Yeah, capital D. I don't know why, but it's fine. I think it looks much worse now. Save.
Yeah, it will look better in Unity.
Do you think so? Let's see if you're
Yes,
correct.
I think so. Just wait.
You are correct.
D.
You are correct. It did camel case it better. Will you look at that? Lucky lady. Or
His
clever
face.
lady. Who knows? Who knows? All right, so we need to get those results back. Let's take a look at where they are, because I'm almost sure we've already created some kind of variable for that. So dice number, dice values, dice revolutions, degree, curve dice. I don't see it. Die roll. Is that the one? I think so. I think the die roll is a result. Hit Control F for me. I want to see if we used it anywhere.
Yep, a lot.
All right. I think I saw it in an important place. Here. Move to... Okay. Random range. You see this?
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's not what we want. We now need to go and calculate the die roll. Okay? So roll dice and then move.
Mm-hmm.
That's very important. How do we do this? Thinking. I think here's how we're going to do this. After this... we're going to use this left control and it's going to count as a turn. So we do those die roll, and then after the die roll, when we get the result back, we are going to move the car. Okay, so let's change this roll to a int. But we can't because there's 2 of them. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Okay, right here, type die roll. We need to reset it, right? When we spin the dice.
Die
So we're
roll.
gonna say die roll equals 0. So let's reset it. Semicolon. Save. Okay. And now die wheel, this public, change it from void to int. Oh, this is clever. I like it. And here you go return Where is it? Roll value. Return roll value. Semicolon. Okay. So our game manager is going to now copy this, paste it, plus equals, save. So now we're gonna increase the die roll by whatever result we get with the roll function in the die wheel, okay?
Okay.
And whatever number we get at the end is the number that we want, okay? So now here we need a public. So go public void. Receive completed roll. Receive completed roll. Zoe, can you stop typing with one hand, please? Focus. Okay. Open and close around. Open. Yeah, close it. Save. Now we need to know how many completed rolls we need, and we know this because we have a dice number. Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to create another private int for how many dice we've rolled so far. So go private int dice rolled. Dice rolled. Semicolon.
That was not semicolon.
Copy. And paste it here. What is it when we start rolling? How many dice have we rolled when we start rolling?
Nothing.
Nothing. Equals 0.
So we're basically
Semicolon.
resetting things.
And
now.
here you say dice rolled plus plus. Plus plus. Semicolon. And here you say if dice rolled equals dice number. Close the bracket, open it. Yeah. So if we have reached the number that we want, then what do we do? Well, we will do this stuff. We're gonna move the player whose turn it is toward the die roll. Okay, and then when the player will stop, we'll change the turn. So for now, let's still change it. So copy all of this, paste it right here, save. Okay, so this should already work, except we need to make one small change, which is we need to call this received completed roll, copy it. We need to call it from our coroutine at the end of the coroutine, right here, paste it. Well, undo, actually, my bad. Type game manager.script dot paste it, open close round, semicolon, save. All right, this is looking good. This should work. Let's check it out. Are you ready? Moment of truth. Hit control.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Work. Worked.
Wait, let's check if it did 7.
So wait.
1,
1,
2,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh,
Maybe he counted this?
it may have counted the start. Yeah. Let's try again. Hit control again. 10. 2, 3. Okay, let's count them.
9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8. Wait.
Well,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9. Right. So
So
but
it's
wait,
counting the
wait
start
a
time,
moment,
maybe.
because before we had a 7, and it counted the 7. And if you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you're right. So even including that. So I think what's happening here is I don't think that the start one counts. So let's verify if that's the case. Hit control 2 more times. Hit control. Well, wait for a moment. Wait for it to finish. Yeah, because unfortunately we haven't set it up so that you can not enter control all the time. Okay, and hit control 1 more time. So it's kind of working because there was 1 less. Okay, so now we have 2 4s, so it should be right there in the middle. 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Okay, now roll control and let's see how many the yellow does. I suspect it's going to be 2 less than it should. So 4. Yes. See, it's 2 less. It did 2 instead of 4. Do you know why?
Why?
Oh, it's very easy, really. Think about it. what result do you return? Usually.
You return the dice number.
Well, let's go check the dice value here. Right? Roll value, I'm sorry, it's called. It says calculate random range between 0 and dice values. Right? So 0 and dice values. Look at those numbers. We got a 3 and a 1, right? Mm-hmm. So 0 gives us 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 2 gives us 3.
Yes.
How much is 0 plus 2?
0 plus 2 is 2.
Did the yellow card do 2 tiles?
Yep.
That's why. So, can you figure out what's going on? I figured it out.
Maybe we need to change
No, don't make guesses. I know when you say maybe, it's going to be stupid. There's an answer to this, and it's very, very simple. It's a mathematical answer. Look at this line of code over here. The secret is right there. I can see it. It's right in front of you. In the middle of that line. What do you randomize between there?
0 and the dice values.
Yeah.
The dice values right now are 3 and 1.
No. Don't get confused. Dice values is a variable that tells you how many sides your thing has. So if that confuses you, we're going to change this name of this variable, okay? But this is how many faces your wheel has. 6. Oh. Okay? So we randomize between 0 and 6.
We should call dice faces then.
Sure, we'll do that. So what numbers can we get if we randomize between 0 and 6?
We can get 0. No, wait, between. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, wrong. It's only top exclusive, not bottom exclusive. So you get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So can our result return a 0?
Yes.
Right. When will it return a 0? When you roll a 1.
When
you roll a 1.
Yeah,
so your wheel will display a 1, but it will actually do?
A 0.
That's right. And it will display a 3, but it will actually do?
A 2.
That's correct. That's your problem. So, check this out.
Plus 1.
Bam!
Damn, that should work.
Save. Okay,
That's
and
why the start tile problem's there too.
Huh?
I think that's
I think the start tile is completely ignored. It's got nothing to do with it. That's why I wanted to verify the thing. We actually teleport the player to the start tile right away. Now, rename, hit Control R twice, and call this faces. Just type the word face. Hit enter. Okay, save. Actually, I think it's probably already saved. Now the problem is we're going to get a crash. Stop it! Stop the code! Stop
the code! Stop the code! Stop the code!
Look at the crashes. Look at them. Look at them. Evil. All right, let's hit
Evil
play
gases.
now. Okay, give it a
crashes,
test.
I just said.
Oh wow! Congratulations for rolling the worst possible. 1-1. Okay,
You silly blue person.
5. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes.
Yay!
Nice.
Let's see who wins.
9. Oh, that's a good roll, Mr. Red.
Hi, Mr. Red's winning. Let's see about
Watch a 12. It's happening. Oops. 8. 1 short of Red. Well, Red won.
For now.
Well, we're not going all the way till the end. I'm sorry. We're not going to bore everyone with this.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, we are in a pretty good spot right now. This is a good situation. What we need to do next time is we need to... I really do think we should start refactoring a little bit. What does refactoring mean?
What?
We should take the code that we already have right now and improve it to fix all of the various bugs and logical problems that we've got. Okay, for example, you can still do this by hitting space. That shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
Right? So there's quite a few things that we need to fix. We need to make it so that the cars don't all face the same point all at the same time.
You can still
that you can't do several things at the same time, etc. We need to block input when stuff is being executed, and so on and so forth. So all of these things still need to be implemented, and I think this is what we're going to do next time. So next time it's going to be our improvements episode.
Improvement!
All right. Well, thanks very much for watching, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.